madman that I am. Let's go. Everybody, and welcome back to Encounter Roleplay. My name is Will. I'm a D&D sex icon, and I'm back today with yet another episode of Skyrim Death of a Dragonborn. We're all back here today at last for some more Skyrim shenanigans, so sit back, get ready for it, my friends, because it's coming at you. We've got cabbages, we've got Sheogorath, we've got vampires, we've got Jarl Balgrup's sitting position, so get ready for it. It's going to be a good one. But let's go around the cast and crew, first of all. Let's figure out who we are and who we're going to be playing tonight. Let's start with the inimitable Strider Heap. How's it going, Strider?
Hey, what's going on, man? Glad to be back. It has been one heck of a hiatus, but I am ready to get back into it because you left me on somewhat of a cliffhanger last time. Anyway, I'm going to be playing Laren Lalu. Laren was born in Morrowind and has led a rather cloistered life of excess and decadence. He's exploring and adventuring out in Skyrim right now. And his personal driver is dealing some shadowy dealings in the alleys, and we know there's vampires afoot. So, kind of hoping Scheme's not working with the vampires, but he probably is. I'll still crush him like a goose egg.
Great stuff. We also have Ellie from Beholder Gaming with us tonight. How's it going?
It's going. I'm so excited to be back. That was like a cliffhanger and a half on the last game. I am playing Claudia Meldor. She is a Imperial member of the Dawn Guard, and I mean that's Ellie. She's that's my character. She's got red hair.
Hates vampires.
She's got a scar. Yeah, hate vampires. Everything's a vampire. Doesn't matter. And she's got she's got a scar across her face from where she was in a vampire attack and killed that vampire Aurelius. So yeah, she hates vampires.
Awesome. She's happy to knock down your door in order to assess whether or not you are a vampire.
Drag you out into the sun.
That's what you discovered last week. We also have Nicholas with us tonight. How's it going, my friend?
Yeah, it's fine. I'm a lot better than this time. Still a bit late, so but I can't get around that because time zones are what they are. But yeah, I will be playing Edor, Khajiit, Ice Magician, Garbage Fire.
Khajiit, Ice Mage,
right.
Garbage Fire. Great stuff. Can't wait to see what Yoto gets up to this week. It's always interesting. And last but not least, we have Mr. Droplet Die with us tonight. How's it going, my friend?
It's going fairly well. I'm going to be playing Casimir Hardthumb. He is a Breton who has come to Skyrim as a military brat and has since made a name for himself. He has a pretty big investment in all of these people and trying to get them to not get themselves killed. So hopefully we can continue that tradition today.
We'll see how it goes. Casimir is definitely in for a tough job with this bunch of reprobates. But we'll remind you guys, of course, what happened last week on the show in just a few minutes. But first of all, I want to let you guys know that you can get the rules that we're using today, which are the Helheim Unbound rules of Helheim RPG on... I didn't spell it right. On RPG Now. Go ahead and check those out. You can just $5, my friends. Just $5. You can use this pretty awesome rule set that we're using right now. It has a D6 dice pool system, and you are looking for 5s and for 6s whenever you try and roll a dice. Super fun, super easy. There's a really nice cheat sheet that you can have as well, we're using right now, which has all the rules on one nice handy little page. The links in there for you guys, so definitely go and check out the product, and you can see our little faces on the RPG Now page as well, because we're there. Of course, we're, as per usual, sponsored here today by Fancy Grounds, fancygrounds.com, virtual tabletop of choice, where we're running like 8 different role-playing games each week, different systems on there, so definitely go ahead and check it out. That's not how commands work, Will. Forgive me, this is hour 7 to 10 for me. And then, of course, whalengames.co.uk for our miniature lines of choice, where you can also buy every board game under the sun, along with all of your favorite D&D books as well, up to 20% off the retail value. So definitely go ahead and check those out. They support the show, and you can support us by supporting them. It's a great little system. Of course, speaking of support, you guys can interact with today's shows. If you haven't followed yet, hit the follow button, join us. We're just one follow away from a viewer decision. You guys get to decide something which happens next in our campaign. Also, there is a tweet for you guys as well. At 20 retweets, we'll have another viewer decision. And last but not least, you can donate to affect the game as well by giving players nat 1s, nat 20s, wild magic surges, and in Win 4's case, an angry man who is mad that his brother has been scammed by cabbages, which will come into effect very, very soon, I am sure. So, let us, before we dive in, let's just remind ourselves what happened last time on the show. I was mentioning this a little bit beforehand, but the party are tracking down some vampires in Whiterun, and they've done a bunch of searching around all of Skyrim to find this name, that the clan of the Ventoul are amassing armies of vampires, perhaps undead, to take over Whiterun, the jewel of Skyrim. And Jarl Balgruuf is not going to have any of that. So he set these friends onto the task to figure out what's going on. While they were searching around Skyrim, they ran into an interesting Daedric prince, thanks to a donation from one of you guys named Sheogorath. And Sheogorath gave them a special task, which was to take this special wand and to place it underneath Jarl Balgruuf's bed, or in fact anywhere in his room. Last week, Yodur accomplished that task, and I'm sure nothing bad will happen about it today. And that's the only reason that I'm mentioning it, is because it was totally inconsequential and just a fun little side thing. But they did some digging around Whiterun last week. They suspected a man known only as the Bear for being a vampire in Whiterun, but it turns out that he's not. He just had a troll in his basement that was his friend, and they kind of got into a little scrap with the Bear, a little fight there with Claudia, trying to knock down his door, and in the end trying to break it off his hinges successfully. But the Bear is now their friend, and they now feed the troll in his basement. So they've got a friend. In a clever ploy, Laron has come up with a clever plan to trick whatever vampire is hiding in Whiterun out of hiding and into the open. They have asked Jarl Balgruuf to throw a party, one of his legendary parties, and so right now, as we speak, Jarl Balgruuf is going, and he is getting every kind of wheel of cheese, every kind of mead, every one of any imports to one of his legendary parties. This is about to happen, in fact, tonight in our game, as I headed to Jarl Balgruuf's party, where Laron plans to, with a clever ruse, uncover this vampire so that the party can kill said vampire. So that is where we are going to start off today's game. And let's just quickly run around. It has been a couple of weeks. Remind us what you guys look like as characters. So let's start with, once again, Laron. Laron, what do you look like, my friend?
Laron's a little bit on the shorter side. He's probably like 5'6"ish. 6-ish. He is clad, of course, in the finest traveling boots, silk pants, silk doublet, his fancy adventuring garb just being whatever was shiniest and most expensive at the store. He does have these series of telescopic glasses where he can flip lenses up and down, zoom in his vision, or see certain spectrums of light. No one knows what it means. It might not actually work or do anything, but he thinks it does. And I think right now he has on his dark blue face just a permanent expression of terrified horror and exasperation and a little betrayal.
Interesting. We also have Claudia. Remind us again what Claudia looks like, Ellie.
Claudia, as I mentioned earlier, she has long red hair. It's pinned back because she's a member of the Dawn Guard, so she doesn't like it in the way. She's wearing her standard Dawn Guard plate, and it's well worn. And she has right now her eyes are actually green, but normally they're a little offish yellow, but now they're green. And like I said, she has a wicked scar going from here to here on her face that she got in a battle with the vampire Aurelius that she murdered the shit out of.
Great stuff. And Yodur, what do you look like, my friend?
Well, Yodur has sort of a apparel leather clothing, a cape, and a hat, of course. And he looks a bit like a lion. Big mane, unkept, little small scar on his left chin, and he doesn't give that much of a trustworthy impression. He's a little bit like, a really, really terrible poet in a way that just puts all his stock into outward expression.
Yeah, he's like a knockoff Sven.
Except
really,
when he nails it, though. Except when he nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great stuff. And then last but not least, Casimir. What do you look like, my friend?
Casimir Hardthumb is a Breton. Breton are traditionally fairly short with dark hair, dark stubble. He's got some gray along his cheeks and chin. He's nearing 50. His left hand, is actually a mangled, petrified stump from a spell that went wrong in ages past. But he's pretty lithe and weathered with several scars, and he dresses more like a Nord than he does a Breton.
Awesome. And of course, we start things off with a Mid-Magician Wild Magic Surge for Laram, which reads that someone nearby awakens tomorrow in a stone sepulchre. So, I'll let you know how that one goes. It may be quite the party indeed. But let's kick things off. You guys are ascending with one another, along with the hairy Nord man, known only as the Bear, to Jarl Balgroof's party. It's maybe 8, maybe 9 p.m. at this point. The party's just getting started and is planned to go on long into the rest of the night. As you ascend the steps upwards, you hear already the sounds of carousing and music coming in. Yoda, of course, remembers that he has a performance to give at some point tonight with his power flute that Jarl Balgroof has been very insistent on, which at this point it's getting to that stage of performance, anxiety, Yoda, where the sweat is starting. You're realizing that, man, this is a pretty big gig right now, and you're not sure how people are going to receive your work, your art, if you will. Other party goers have begun to make their way up the steps with you. There are a lot of people coming tonight. You think it's going to be a very filled, very packed hall indeed. So what are you guys doing? Who's going first, I guess? Is anyone pushing their way through the crowd to get to the doors?
Yeah, sure. Yodur is walking confidently forward and waving at people who might be fans.
Awesome. Okay, so Yodur, it's weird, Yodur. Thank you, Win, for that donation. As you push your way through the crowd, there's someone's like, "Hey, that's the power flute guy."
Yes, I am Yodur. And you will hear me play later. Not now, but now.
There's this young boy. He's a young imperial lad. He's clearly come here for the festival, the party. He's got a small horn, like a tiny little horn of mead, from which he's kind of nervously sipping every now and again. And he looks bright-eyed to see you, and he's like, "Would you? Do you think you would take my amulet? It's magic, and I want the owner of the power flute to have this."
Of course. You can give it to me.
he like gives you the amulet. Oh, this is amazing! I can't wait to hear you play.
Well, little boy, you are a boy, yes?
Yes.
Well, it's hard to tell. You are a human after all.
Right.
You too can be as great as Eudor. You just have to travel north and freeze a troll, and then people will know who you are.
Defeat a troll? I'm not sure I could ever do anything like that. That's the stuff of heroes.
Kid. Of course you can do it. You just need to have luck and do not die. It's quite easy.
That's the best advice I've ever heard. And he looks towards Casimir and Claudia and Laren. Is like, and these are your fans or your bandmates?
They are my
groupies.
Yodur would like to say. Yodur would like to say that these are not groupies; they are roadies.
There was no groupie or roadie. I'm the reason they're throwing this party tonight. This is about me. All right.
I'm the bodyguard, so don't get too close.
Oh, I won't touch him, but he's just so famous. I've heard all of the stories. They've been circulating all around the taverns. There was a lizard folk down there, and he was talking all about you.
Yo, Joe, how are you famous? This party's for me.
Well, Laren, you need to understand that fame happens to the one who deserves it the most, not just who.
All right, hold on. Before you start playing, make an announcement that Laren is going to unveil the vampires and the Ventuli. All right, everyone's actually listening to you. Just say that, and then there's someone will try to kill me. And okay, we got it.
Yeah, that would be fun too.
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
And kid,
wow, you're all doing things like heroes. Is there any way I can help?
Yeah.
My name's Tom.
Please.
They call me Little Tom because I'm small.
Tom. You can walk around and see if you can see any suspicious people in robes.
Well, there is that suspicious-looking lizard folk over there with that other suspicious man in a suspicious robe just behind that tavern.
Well, what?
That is some important intel.
Sometimes I see things. Sometimes I see dead. No, I didn't say that.
Oh, I don't care. My journal updated. My quest log updated, so I'm getting out of here.
Stop by any time. I'll be inside, in the hall. Yeah. And he like goes up.
Little Tom. Yeah. Have this cheese dragon head for me. I will hand him the cheese dragon I carved, perhaps a week ago. That has been laying in the back since then. So
he takes his cheese and he's like, I'll never eat it. I'll never wash it.
Ooh.
That's good. You should probably not eat that one right now.
He is just made up and will scurry up the steps with his cheese inside the hall, where you're pretty sure you can hear Jarl Balgruuf shouting already. But Little Tom did remind you, of course, that there's what you're pretty sure is Scheme making some kind of back alley deal right now with someone else in a robe. In all the party festivities, it's easy to get distracted, but Scheme is still there, and they seem to be handing one another things.
Backhand
that's a wild
we should
magic
probably
surge
get
for,
in.
But Yodur is going to get that wild magic surge here from Forbrand as well. I don't remember. Did I read out yours? Oh, yes, I did. Of course, that was the Stone Sepulchre for Yodur, do you want to roll me a D10,000 here, my friend?
Sure.
I'll look up what you get.
And it's
as
the
/die space 1 D10,000. I can write this out in the it's in the VMix actually, chat.
Awesome.
There we go. Yeah, pretty sure little Tom's going to get an at some point. Ooh! 4097 for the Khajiit. Any undead nearby, obey the target for 1d8 rounds. I'm going to take out the 1d8 rounds, and I'm just going to say that, Yodur, you can use like the command spell, like command undead, for tonight. Something's in the air. Okay. Something about this amulet that was given to you. As you kind of put it around your neck, you hear a little whisper from the amulet. It says, "There are undead nearby. I can help. I can help, Commander. You'll be the most powerful Khajiit ever, the most famous person in the entire world."
And as Eudor hears this, he giggles to himself.
Amazing. And Genli's given Casimir his wild magic surge for Patreon as well. So as you all, as you watch Yoda take this amulet, you're all struck by some kind of wild magic. And throw me a D10,000 there, Casimir. I will look that up for you, buddy. Ooh, nice and low. 970.
You'd have had time to mature.
It's amazing. You generally seem to be lying when you talk about magic. It's just everyone doesn't. Not sure why. Maybe it's because Casimir doesn't know much about it. He just says stuff about magic. Everyone's like, "This guy's not telling the truth." Whenever anything about magic comes up, yeah. You've got a sense.
Thanks, Patreon.
Yeah, too late, Patreon. Claudia, you've got a sense for these things, you know, being someone that people lie to often when you go knocking on their doors to see if they're vampires. Yeah, you're not sure how trustworthy Casimir is about magic. But nonetheless, what do you guys want to do about this this scheme scenario right now, if at all?
Laren's going to approach.
If Scheme has a back alley deal, we should get a profit from it. It's our right as his friends.
The second robed figure moves away into the darkness, but Scheme still remains, and he's sort of looking around anxiously in the darkness.
I will keep an eye on the party. Go find Scheme, Lauren.
All right, I need someone to come with me. Claudia, how about you? We're gonna press him and make sure he's not doing. Yeah, don't want him doing anything suspicious.
Yodur and I both know magic. We'll be safe.
Yeah, boy. Okay.
You head down to the little alley, and Scheme sort of like retreats into darkness, and then he sees that it's you, Laren, and he kind of pokes his little head out. "Ah, Master! So surprised to see you here."
Scheme, I've been looking everywhere for you, lad. Where you been?
Yeah. Oh, I've just been here, just been there, just been, everywhere. It's,
Well, scheming, right?
Just scheming.
Yeah. Whoa. Who was that fella in the black cloak? He looks shifty.
You'll notice that Scheme's pupils seem to be huge right now, like 2 orbs in his skull that are staring back at you. It's just a friend. Just a friend, yes. So I don't really remember if he was a friend anymore, but he's, Hey,
come on, Scheme. Hey. You're not racking up gambling debts or something, are you?
No, not at all.
I mean, you know I can pay for any of it.
Oh, yes,
I mean, look
at
all this. Look at all this gold right here. I mean, look at that.
That's a lot of gold, Master.
You don't need to want for nothing. Is someone bugging you? Who was that man?
Well, okay, I suppose a Scheme can say. But as long as Master does not tell, well, there was... I saw something strange happening the other day. And I oversaw this, and, well, it was a conversation. If you know what I mean. And I overheard this conversation, and I confronted them. I said, "Hey, you're having a sneaky conversation, aren't you?" And they said, "Would you like some skooma?" And so Scheme said, "Scheme likes some skooma." So, Scheme, keep quiet about the conversation. So I can't even tell you, Master. I can't even say, because then I would breaking my word. And the skooma might stop. So.
Oh, all right, I see. Well, hey, you tell me everything. It's part of our word, so you respecting that. I'll respect you. I won't. Yeah. Claudia, is he telling the truth? I mean, he looks kind of fucky, honestly.
I feel kind of fucky.
I don't know if we should really have him really helping us at this point with too much of anything.
He's looking pretty spaced out every now and again. You know, like he knows that you're there, and then he's kind of like looking off a little bit.
Do you need some water?
What? No.
Okay. You need to go lay down. You don't look good. You don't look good. I mean, you're a lizard, and
I feel great. I feel great. So,
okay.
There's that.
One time I saw this Khajiit like baseline like 10,000 skooma. He's freaked the fuck out. It was crazy.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go get some of those cabbages. I could really eat cabbages right now. You know.
I have some herbal remedies that might.
They got cabbages. I'm really hungry for them.
Okay, never mind.
Oh, my tongue feels really, really hot. Ah. Do you guys have any bread?
Yes, we can go back and get you some bread.
Okay. Yeah. You hooked me up.
Hey, man, we don't want any suspicious conversations in alleyways no more. You should probably come with us. There's a party. It's going to be fun. You like fun. Come on.
Oh, I like a party. Let's go party.
Yeah, come. Claudia, keep an eye on him.
Okay.
Game kind of like slightly addled, like, you know, swaying as he moves, is following Claudia.
Come on.
You have any for your master? Or is that all yours?
He gives you a sly little wink and will pass over a little container of skooma. Kind of bubbles as he hands it to you.
All right, I know. Laren will go ahead and drink it. Yeah.
You're gonna want some bread after that.
Let's go get you some bread.
Yeah. Just give me a loaf, you know.
Let's go to the
tastes
table.
like dreaming.
Go to the buffet. Get you some
it tastes
bread.
better after a while.
Some water and a place to sit down.
Yeah, Claudia is a designated driver of this party, it seems.
He's just crazy, and he's always scheming, so he's
I'm not sure he means well, but he definitely doesn't mean evil. He just means
I mean, you send him off with gambling money, and he comes back with drugs. I mean, he's worth. He's.
Well, that's why he's gonna get sex trafficked next. So we just need to make sure that
he's worth something.
Off to the side. You know, maybe pass out. But let's go and get you some. Yeah, let's get rid of the narcotics that you have and get you some water and some bread and a nice sit down somewhere.
All right then. So Scheme's going to follow you guys. You know, are we as a party joining back together as a whole at this point? Back on the steps up. Okay. So you will actually see that at the top of the steps, inside the great doors are open. And there's a huge party taking place. There are dancers, there are singers, there are musicians, there is mead, there are probably hundreds of people packed into this hall right now. And there's a smell of, delicious roasted foods coming in as well, and of course of cheese. This doesn't indeed seem to be quite a legendary party, as per Jarl Balgriff's promise. As you get inside, you'll see that Irilef is on the door, and she seems to be sort of like bouncing anyone that looks too drunk or, too skoomed, maybe. And that, of course, is a wild magic surge from Lyric Blacktree to behold her. So, Claudia, roll me a d10,000 here, and as you pass the threshold, we'll see what happens to you. Yeah, the first taste is on the house. After that, you got to pay. It's in the vmix in the chat. You can just copy and paste that.
All right.
And we'll see what kind of thing you vomit or manifest, or what kind of room you wake up in tomorrow.
All right, here we go. Okay, it's not slash roll. There we go.
There you go. 49.36 for Claudia. Ooh, this is interesting. You age
vampires.
It kind of fits. You age 1d4 years each time your weapon injures someone. So whenever you hurt someone with your weapon, you age 1d4 years. How old is Claudia?
Oh, she's a 34.
Okay, all right. So you're gonna, you may reach
every time I damn. What about like somebody as in humanoid, or like can we like define that?
Let's say
anything I swing at.
It's like poetic justice that every time you injure a vampire with that weapon, you age 1d4 years.
I already hate him. I mean, this is,
I already hate him. This is just another reason.
Okay, fine.
But the good thing is we haven't met any vampires yet, so
That's true. You've so far encountered 0 vampires in this campaign. So I'll have to see.
And we never will.
Right? Like my character doesn't all of a sudden feel like if she attacks a vampire, she's going to age.
No, you don't have a strange prescience about this. You just we'll discover it. So you may be hitting that 40 a little closer than you were hoping. But hey, as you guys come in, Irileth is on the door. She's bouncing everyone. That looks a little bit too skoomed up. Are you guys going to try and protect Scheme in any way? As to try and get Scheme inside? Otherwise, she's giving him quite a suspicious look right now. She looks towards you and says, "Welcome in. I hope that your plan is ready and set."
We have many plans. I intend to play a flute. I think I was ordered.
Yes, so? I believe the Jarl has ordered you to play your. He calls it a power flute, but honestly, I think this catching the vampire thing might take. It might be more important.
So you think we should extend the party to a
Yes, we're ready.
So we have more days than one.
Yes, we're ready to catch the vampire. Yes.
I want to keep
just like going. Yes.
So many affirmatives from this direction.
You'll do if you want to keep the party going after this. Yeah, I'm game.
Yeah.
Well, perhaps once the important business has been done. What's wrong with your friend here? And Scheme's like, you got a loaf of bread.
He had an allergy attack.
Actually, I believe... I can't lie to you. I think the correct term is he's tripping balls. He is hard off of himself on skooma. We need to go lay him down immediately.
Oh, yeah.
Keep him away from everyone.
Irileth's like, fine. There are some quarters ups. Yes.
By the way, I found out you have skooma dealers in this city.
What?
Yeah, that's how we got it.
Just one disaster at a time, please. Let's just get this lunatic of a friend of yours upstairs and put him in a room and lock him in there for the night.
Right.
So she's just like, fine, and she goes back to bouncing up people. She lets you all through, with the under the condition that you go upstairs and put Scheme into a bedchamber and lock him in there. You enter into the throng, if you will, and it's not long as you enter in before Jarl Balgruuf, who's at the head of his seat right now, notices you all. And he's like, my friends are here. They are vampire slayers extraordinaire. And he's roaringly, pissed right now. He's clearly so far off his rocker, he doesn't really know what's going on. He's, come over here, friends. I have to introduce you to everyone.
I'm liking this vibe going on here.
I'll I'll try to keep an eye out for suspicious characters in here that fit the bill that Claudia's been telling me to look for. But I'll dutifully kind of go over to mingle as I'm told to.
Cool. We need some better club music for this. You walk into Jarl Balgroup's club, and he kind of brings you all over and is like, "Oh, we are the heroes!" He's got all of like the festival, you know, like glow in the dark paint on it.
Bunch of flower crowns everywhere.
There's a flower crown on him. Yeah. He's rocky, and for some reason he's wearing a tank top. You're not sure when that happened, and he's like, "Welcome in, everyone. This will be a party to remember." So,
yes, I have ideas about that. Oh.
Really?
Yes.
Please, now listen here. One thing that I've heard from Irleth just now is that someone has skooma. Now, I don't know if you have a friend who maybe has skooma, but he might be my friend who has skooma.
We getting lit?
And Scheme is like, "Oh, you want some skooma?"
We getting lit AF tonight, fam.
And he's like, "Well, if you have some, then I won't tell if you don't tell her that." And like Jarl Balgroup, like you watch his Scheme like hands a little pot of skooma over to Jarl Balgroup, and he kind of bubbles it up a little bit. And you watch as Jarl Balgroup's eyes just go huge, and he gets a euphoric look on his face. "Ah, good, excellent. You are truly the greatest heroes in all of the lands." Yes, and he kind of like looks off for a little bit, like clearly out of it as it hits him.
I have heard that this party is just for one night, but Yoduro has this plan, you see. If we fail to get the vampire today, we might need more evenings. So if we could extend this party into a festival,
keep the party going.
Like, you know, we can call it Wydron Yoduro Festival, for example. It's a nice name.
Let's call it Jarl Balgroup's Festival. That sounds better than a party.
Yes, but the important thing is it lasts for like 3 days a week.
3 days a week. I like it. 3 days a week, every week here.
Yes.
And he's clearly losing it. And then he hears a song that he loves. Oh my god. And he just like starts dancing over to the sound of Sven the Dragonborn, which is pumping, and you've lost him. He's gone.
At that point, Laren's gonna reach over and try to pet Yoduro and like scratch his ears and stuff. Good kitty.
It's at this point actually, Laren, as you're kind of getting lit here, you're kind of having a good time. You're forgetting that Scheme needs to be taken away.
No, he doesn't get lit. No. No. There's nothing.
Lauren's already done. Okay.
He's already. He did that with Scheme. But you'll see, Lauren, as you're sort of like, you're starting to fade away and have a good time. There's Claudia buzzing in your ear about something, but it doesn't seem all that important. You hear a shout, which is, "Stop right there, you fiend!" And you'll turn. You go to look over your shoulder, and you'll see this angry-looking man. He's a red guard, and he has fury on his face right now as he points at Laren, and he says, "You ruined my brother with all those cabbages. He's got nothing but cabbages." And I'm here.
I'm the one that paid for the cabbages.
What?
I'm here to set the
try to
straight
back into the crowd.
Back up.
Where's good kitty? Kitty, can you do Kitty? Where'd he go?
I demand trial by combat with you, sir. For destroying my brother's livelihood.
I paid for them cabbages, I did.
Sir.
At least half of them.
Sir? Sir?
This isn't necessary. The money, what exactly are you pissed off about?
Yeah, I'm very confused about it. But I know this much. That he's to blame for the downfall of my family. He's got nothing left. We invested all of our gold into this cabbage business, and no one wants to buy cabbages.
No, the money, you got the money back.
He doesn't have any more. I put all my life savings into his business, and it's gone to shit overnight. It has.
Oh.
No one wanted cabbages at the festival. And I want his blood. He's clearly.
She has the authority.
You know, he's out of his mind.
He has
pissed.
the authority to take you out. Claudia, take him out.
I would just like to know why you invested into a cabbage farm. I mean, so quickly and ran out of all your money. I think that this doesn't sound right.
It all happened so fast.
I think that you're
Really
blaming
fast. It's like one day.
something that cannot possibly be accurate.
I think that we're all victims here, to be honest. Just blame the cabbages.
At this point, it's easier. He's going to grab a tankard and going to try and smash it over Laren's head.
No.
Awesome.
Nope.
Can I try to freeze it?
I don't want to hit
Sure.
it. I don't want to metagame either, though.
Or because Eudora feels a little bit guilty.
A little? Okay.
Yeah, a little. I mean, that Eudora feels guilty is in itself. So.
That's 3 successes right there. So you're doing a back away in the crowd. You freeze the tankard, and he's like, "You just froze my tankard. It's my best tankard. I want your blood now as well." And he breaks down crying, and he's like, "I've lost everything, everything. Lost it all on cabbages. I should have known better. They said not to invest in cabbages. But I did. And then I paid my last few gold to attend this party and bring my son, little Tom, here as well. But now he's got nothing left to live for. Because he'll have nothing at all in his life. A pauper son." He kind of like sits down
Tom.
and starts sobbing.
He's the one that gave us that fancy necklace that was pretty expensive, wasn't he?
He gave you the necklace? Oh, God, Tom! Now we've got nothing left. That was the last thing I was gonna sell, pawn off for a few gold pieces or maybe some cabbages to try and get myself back in the game. No! Don't invest in cabbages! Damn it, this cabbage curse!
If I have a 2 wealth, like, can I give this guy enough money that he'll stop bitching about his cabbages? I don't know how much 2 wealth really is.
How much money do you want to give? You want to give this man?
I mean,
To pay off the cabbage debts.
I mean, he does. Yeah, I guess it doesn't even make any sense. The guy's loony. But I mean, I guess I'll give him 5 gold, 6 gold. I don't know what the farm cost. I have no idea.
You're pretty sure what might have happened here is he may have taken out a cabbage loan from a cabbage loan shark, and when he couldn't pay him back, it all went downhill.
So I won't have the money for a cabbage loan shark, but I don't know.
You also have cabbage loan sharks.
Just give him 5 gold and say, "I'm sorry that you made that investment." But this is not Larry's fault.
And kind of looks a little bit. Oh, okay. 5 gold. That'll maybe pay for my boy's shoes. Thank you. So Tom can wear shoes again.
How much?
He's just wearing cabbage leaves right now. I just found them all, but they're gonna rot away, just like everything else.
Friend,
Really good.
what is your name? Arm around him.
Yeah. You can. My name's Garrett, sir.
Garrett, I will make you a deal. For every person that you tell that this dark elf, I point to Lauren, I say, he's hunting for a vampire at this party, I will give you a coin. The equivalent of a cabbage.
That's. He looks around and he's like, "That's so many cabbages. Think of all the cabbages I can." No, Garrett. Think of cabbages. Fine, I'll do it.
Spread the word.
Help you later. Maybe you can talk to the person you got the loan from. You know, maybe we can help you out when you're sane. Okay?
Maybe. Well, you see, there's a it's a wild magic search for the cabbage guy. Let me look that up. Why do we ever close the wild magic search table? I say this every week. I always do it.
Garrett, I do not know how you're speaking with 1,000 little fire ants falling in and out of your mouth, but we'll help you out, man.
You watch as this wild magic surge affects Garrett as you touch him, and deer antlers sprout from his shoulder blades, and you'll watch as they just kind of grow out from him, and he's like, "No, the curse of the cabbages strikes again."
I'm tripping balls.
You did this, Laren.
No,
I don't even know who I am.
How am I ever gonna pay Jarl Balgroof back for all my cabbages?
We just need to leave this guy. Let's just leave. Let's just leave this guy. Let's just get out of here. Let's just move away from this guy.
There's only one way.
Oh, this is
Spread
great.
the word. Spread the word.
He nods. Okay, I will. And he starts kind of racing off to tell people about Laren with like this antler shoulder blades going off. As you guys are looking around, though, it's odd. Like this party is starting to get a little strange. Not only are people growing, it's not just this. They're not only are people growing the antlers out of his back and trying to sell you cabbages and talking about cabbages. You'll also see that there are people. And you're expecting people to get drunk, right? You're expecting people to be drinking here, but there are people who are just like getting gallons of mead and just like pouring it down one another's throats and cackling with laughter as they do so, to the point where like people like choking up or wine, and like you see someone like choking up blood as well. And you'll see people are cavorting to a level like you'd think would be unheard of at the Jarl's place. Like people are not behaving themselves. People are just like making out with one another. There are bears on bear action happening over by that punch bowl over there. This party's like there's an edge to this party that is getting a little bit out of hand, and like you also feel the vibe from the crowd is getting a little maybe violent as well. People are starting to like
welcome to
that
Glasgow.
mob mentality. Go ahead, Casman.
I say to my companions, without knowing what my wild magic surge was, that this seems like the magic of Sheogorath's wand.
He's lying.
That's not it. That is 100% not it.
No, it's the only explanation. Either that or the vampire.
It could be
Wait
a
a second.
vampire.
I only took one hit. People, I'm not tripping that hard. People don't just grow ants out of their faces. I think you're right.
What?
No, I think
Oh, perhaps
I'll say-
someone has held towards skooma into the water supply.
I'm looking at Eudor, who's like hiding behind a table casting spells at random. I turn and look at Laren, who's like looking at the ants that aren't on his hand. I turn and look at Claudia. I'll say, I'll be right back. Don't let them set fires.
Okay.
It's interesting. As you mentioned, fire. There are some like lit torches and lit braziers around. Claudia will notice as you mentioned fires that there's one Argonian who's taken one of these torches, and there's a couple of people around him who are like, do it, do it, do it, do it, and he's like, ah, and he's thinking about, you know, like setting fire to something around here. He's like looking around to see what sets fire. He sees like the casks of ale and beans.
Scheme!
Starts heading towards us.
Scheme! Get lit! Do it! Get lit!
It's Scheme. Scheme's wandered off. He's not under any supervision, and he's like, yeah. And he's got like a loaf of bread in one hand that he's like gnawing at. He's also got the torch in the other.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go get the torch off of him. Getting the torch off of him.
Okay. Roll me like an athletics to try and, you know, take down Scheme, as is your God-given right, as being a Dorga.
I'm not gonna.
You do have the authority.
Oh, this is alright. Okay.
Oh damn! Great roller. Scheme is 1 dice, so he can't possibly succeed. As he's so scubaed out of his mind and weak in the first place. You barrel him over and get the torch off his hand, and he's like, but why?
Give me this, because you're losing your mind. There's something going on here that's more than just you on drugs.
You see like the 4 people who are around it like kind of turn on you, and they're like, one of them's like, give it back to him, let him do it.
I will burn
like,
you alive. I will burn you all.
I'd like to see you try.
Go away. Go away. Go away. Go get some.
I'd like to see it too.
Roll me an intimidate.
I have. Okay. I'm charismatic and likable. But I'm gonna burn them probably.
Yeah, not so much in this case. I'll give you an extra dice here. For having like taken down Scheme, taken the weapon away. So like, it's intimidating in most situations, but they've got that kind of like mob mentality where they're like looking between one another and gaining courage from their numbers. They do like sulk away. They're like sulk away from you, but you can tell that they're about to get up to no good as soon as you're away.
I put the torch away or put it out or something, and then and then just go back to. Hopefully everyone's still where they were. So I get to this day, and if I see them, but back to Laren and the rest of. Well, Casimir left, so.
Yeah, Laren's talking to one of those like big support columns, like one of the load-bearing pillars, and he's like, Claudia, if they did that, then this is Sheogorath, someone else is going to do it. Look, it's going to get really late.
The column speaks back to you in Claudia's voice and says, "It's probably a vampire."
Well, that's wrong. You think? Is Sheogorath a vampire? No.
Probably. Maybe you should take that sword over there.
Yeah, that won't no vampires. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you should like cut someone with it.
Why would I cut someone?
Could be fun.
Well, it could be fun, but I'm also trying to get into Earlet's pennies, and she's the god, and gods don't like it when you cut people.
So, funny you should mention Earlet, because she's coming over, so you see her coming through the crowd. As Claudia, you refocus Laren, and you're like, I'm over here. Not just a piece of stone. Earlet comes over, and she looks at you. She looks a little bit out of it as well, like a little more sway, a little more pep in her step than is usual for Earlet. And she's like, "Hey, Laren.
Hey, Earlet, I was just talking about you.
Hey, do you want to get a sword?"
It's funny, Claudia was just telling me to get a sword. I said we shouldn't do that. Earlet wouldn't like that.
All get swords, and let's do something with them.
What kind of something?
Something dangerous. Why is that column speaking to me?
You see, you say Claudia Paul too.
I'm not jacked up, right? Like I don't Like, I'm not hallucinating while I'm
No,
writing.
you guys don't seem to be experiencing the same thing at this point.
Claudia,
But everyone has
Claudia,
been here a lot longer than you guys, so there may be something at work.
Claudia, just gonna say something real quick. Then you can go back to being a Poe or whatever it is you want to do. I think the intoxicants are being amplified by Sheogorath or something. Everyone's gonna start getting real stabby. If this is actually you, please drag me the fuck out of here. If not, alright, here, that sounds fun. Let's do it.
Alright, let's go ahead, Claudia. You want to say
As
something?
the not pole, because I'm sure is he addressing the pole?
Yeah,
Or is he
totally.
addressing?
Yeah, I'm
Totally
looking
addressing
back
the poll
and
all
forth,
the time. Yeah, right there, yeah.
Regardless of that, I'm sure I hear it, and since it wasn't, Casimir who brought this up, and it was actually Laren, I will escort him maybe out to, like, we went through like an area to get to this area, so maybe outside.
Okay.
Out in the,
Outside.
Hey, grab
yeah.
me with that. Be your wingman. Grab me with that.
So Irlif's coming with you. She's like down, like she's drawing her sword. She's drawing her sword at this point, and she's like looks like she may stab some of it.
Airlift, want to come through, go get some fresh air.
So you guys are doing that. Casimir, you're off. What are you up to at this point in the party?
I'm leaving the group, and I'm trying to rush back up to Jarl Balgruf's bedroom, because I am under the impression that this might be Sheogorath's wand, and I'm afraid that at this crucial juncture, that if I don't do something with this wand, it may lead to vampire dominion over Whiterun. So I run up the stairs and I try to get into Jarl Balgruf's bedroom to search for wherever Yodur hid this wand.
Man.
All right.
Yeah.
So you get through there. Get up there, I guess. There is still a guard on the door. He seems to have his wits about him, and he kind of looks to you and says, "Is everything okay down there? It sounds awfully rowdy."
I say, things are getting fast out of hand. Irlith may need your help down there.
All right. Well, you're one of Lial's friends, so keep an eye up here for me while I'm gone.
I shall.
He goes past you with a grim look on his face to try and sort out whatever nonsense is going on downstairs, and the door is to Jarl Balgruf's room is right there for you.
Alright, I try to push my way through.
Okay, yeah, you can do. It's not currently locked, so you'll be able to get your way through into there. It's not locked thanks to Yodur's shenanigans. But you'll be able to push your way through there and into his room as the kind of sounds of the party fade into the distance a little bit for you. What do you want to do when you're in his room?
I'm going to try and put myself into Yodur's mindset. So I'm thinking, okay, Khajiit, he's whimsical, he's smart, but he hides it. Maybe under the bed. And I'll kind of crawl down, and there's like this scene, you see a shot under the bed, and then my face lowers to look. I stand up. Where would he hide it? Where would he hide it?
As you look under the bed where Yodur did indeed place this wand, there's nothing there. Except for a few loose cabbages.
Oh boy.
Those cabbages. I think. Is this... and I'll just try to look in the drawers and the things in this room, flip the sheets off. I'm not trying to hide anything because I know the ruckus downstairs is going to do plenty for me. So I'll just trash this room for a minute or two looking, and if I don't see anything, I'll reevaluate.
You turn the place over, and like every drawer, every bed sheets, every curtain you kind of tear down or look behind to see what you can find, but there's nothing in here except for some weird cabbages that are also stuffed into all of the drawers apparently as well. As you turn around, you hear it, no, that's not how this works. And behind you on the bed, in quite a position, not unlike Jarl Balgrov's one, is Sheogorath in his long purple robe.
And I say, what is the end game here?
There is no end game.
Too much chaos.
I'm just starting to have fun. No. There's no such thing as too much chaos.
What is fun about this? I'm thinking if I can talk him into a corner and I can get him to tell me why this is fun for him, I can maybe aim it somewhere else for now.
Right. He's like, oh, well, the chaos is quite enjoyable. Jarl Balgruf and throwing such a party. He was so boastful about his parties, and now he's come to realize what a Sheogorath party is like. Now, mine are really legendary. His are not the stuff of legend. Mine are clearly. Have you seen what they're getting up to down there? Quite the stuff, wouldn't you say? The more of it, the better, I say. Until, of course, well, something else might happen.
I'll kind of lean against a dresser. I'll look down at my petrified hand kind of thing. And I think about all the struggles that I've had with magic in my life. I'll just kind of turn to him and I'll say, what could I possibly offer to make you rethink this course?
Offer? I don't need anything from you, and quite frankly, I don't trust anything you say about magic, so there's nothing you can offer me there. But here's the thing. I like games, as does everyone. I like watching games, I like playing games. So how about you, instead of trying to outwit me, play my game? At the end of it, everything will be set back as it was. But until then, everything will be chaos.
Deal. Not even missing a beat.
Good. I was hoping you'd say that. I'm so glad you trusted me. So, head downstairs. There's more to do.
I just look dour at it like I don't have a choice. I know.
So, yeah, you guys will... well, I guess you head back down away from Sheogorath. Of course, when you look back as you're leaving, he's no longer there, being the capricious devil that he is. But you head back down. You'll see as you get back downstairs, the guard who went down here is now kind of cavorting and reveling as well. He seems to have lost the purpose that was there. Now, Yodua, what are you up to, my friend?
I'm walking up to the stage.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking if people are this drunk and disorderly, they will not notice that my playing the flute will be shit. So.
That is indeed the hope. Roll me a performance as you get up, and everyone's like, power flute!
Yeah, I will walk up and then I will point at Laron. This I dedicated to my friend Laron, who will, after this performance, unveil who he knows is the secret vampire henchman in this magnificent palace. And I will play this song, and I will call it Toll of the Yeth. I will have the flute.
I'm going to give you an extra 2 dice because everyone is so out of their minds here that they're probably not going to exactly get what's going on here.
Yeah, I will also only have 2 dice for them.
There you go.
So, this will be horrible.
Oh my!
No!
Nice.
Hey. So I'm going to give you an extra 2 dice. So roll another 2 dice because you should start with 2 as base, right?
Okay, yeah. Okay, so 2 more.
Just to see if you get any more successes there.
That's the second time he's just completely pulled like 2 successes out of its ass.
Well, I didn't even need him. Yeah. So like, it's by no means the greatest performance you've ever made, but with the people being as either not listening or drunk / high as they are, everyone kind of cheers your power flute and seems to be very on board. If you had a record to sell, you'd definitely sell a lot of them. But people will throw some like coins at you, like into a hat kind of deal at the end of this performance. And to this point, as you're performing on the stage, that we see in the crowd, Claudia, Laren, and Irileth going together. You'll notice that the large double doors to the entrance and therefore the exit of the hall have been closed, and they are barred shut. And it looks like the guards are kind of like dancing with people as well, and things are starting to take quite a nasty turn. And so at this point, as Casimir joins back with you guys and Yodo gets off the stage, that you see Jarl Balgruuf stand up on the table and says, "I have an announcement to make." And as he says that, everyone like turns to look at Jarl Balgruuf, and you will hear a kind of like a low humming, like the sound of flames almost, and you feel a great intense heat coming from where Jarl Balgruuf is standing. And about 2 seconds after that, you will see as a burning red and orange portal of fire opens up just behind Jarl Balgruuf. And as he kind of hiccups, he trips backwards, and you'll watch as the Jarl falls into this portal. And from upstairs, Casimir will hear and this seems to be the signal for the crowd to go fucking wild. And as the Jarl just disappears, people grab blades, grab weapons, grab tankards, and begin to attack one another. And you guys are in the midst of a all-out melee tavern brawl right now.
Yodo will spend a word, and you add 5 extra die and try to create a snowstorm over here.
Okay.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Chill it out, man. Use your freeze powers on the fire,
5 successes.
That's a good roll, man.
Are you just doing this on everyone, just to like fuck up everyone in a blizzard?
Yeah, I'm just inside. It would be a blizzard.
It'd be everybody but me on the stairs, I guess.
Yeah.
So like, that's just amazing. So you're like, Yodo sees all of this happen, and as like chaos erupts around him, he gets that kind of like crazy look. And he's like, "Fuck it, blizzard!" And
I was trying to. I will try to keep it away from the stage where I am. So.
Yeah, of course you will. So the crowd are getting battered by hail and ice, and Laren and Claudia, you guys are as well. You're actually going to lose 2 health to this, as Yodo brings down just the pain from above. The crowd are similarly getting battered by it, but they're still in this kind of like frenzy, this bloodlust. As Yodo is clearly the one casting this spell. What would you guys down there like to do, and then we'll have Casimir next.
I'm gonna try, so I'm still headed to the doors. I mean, if I can, as long as no one's readily attacking me and Laren and whatever.
All right, you want to head for the door? Yeah.
I still want to try to get out of here, obviously.
Yeah. It looks like you could push your way out of here. It doesn't look like that's going to be an easy task at all, but you could get your way through there. Roll like an athletics or strength-based roll to barge your way through a crowd of people who are just trying to club one another to death.
Okay, I'm going to also send a weird on that.
Okay.
Did we refresh our weird, or are we where we were when we left off?
Yeah, we should have 4 at the beginning of the session.
You should be refreshed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if I just stuck with my 2 that I had. Okay. So that is great.
Bump you up a little bit there. Let's see.
Okay, that's not so bad.
It's not so bad. Like, Claudia's making progress. I imagine she's probably got like a shield up right now to like try and like push her way through the crowd. Iroleph's sort of almost passed out, but like she looks like she's like you turn around, Laren, where she was before, and she's like just slashing people with her sword.
I'm just kind of like, Laren, if you can focus and try to help me, you gotta get the hell out of here.
No, but she was a power top. Alright, fine.
Okay. So you're mourning the loss of the power top. You go ahead with Claudia, pushing your way through the crowd. Casimir, you're at the top of the staircase. You watch as the Jarl is just dissipated and disappears into the portal, and the cackles of Sheogorath echo behind you.
Is the portal closed or open?
Portal's still open.
Alright, I go through the portal.
Alright.
I just I'm like running down the stairs. I take a big step onto a chair. I yell out to Claudia. I'm like, Claudia! And then I jump through the portal.
Yep.
Trying to find Balgruuf. I don't know.
Yelling my name. Do I even hear that?
Yeah, Casimir's got a deep voice that can carry. You hear a Claudia, and then basically he's cut off midway through as he jumps into the portal. Exactly. And you watch that Casimir has gone through this burning portal.
Oh shit!
All right.
Oh shit!
Change of plan, guys.
Okay.
We need to gotta follow him through that portal he just went through. We gotta follow.
Okay. All right.
What's great is I did not want to specify. I'm just like, Claudia, and then let her fill it.
Right, so I assume, like, shit's about to get real, follow me, so. Alright.
Almost like.
Kind of, get the group together. Cool Laren, cool Airlift. I don't know how she's doing.
She seems pretty preoccupied. I like the idea that Casimir was like midway through like a sentence explaining everything, like, Claudia, I'm about to go! And then yep. Just a bit through. So Laren and Yodur, you watch as Casimir goes through, and Claudia kind of shouts and is like, we're gonna go through as well. Are you gonna follow her? Are you gonna follow her?
He was probably lying.
I said nothing about magic.
Anything about magic. Nothing about magic was said. We're not gonna leave our friends behind.
Well,
can't be worse than here. Well, it can be, but what choice do we have?
My dark elf friend, people out here are trying to stab each other, yes?
Yeah.
Hopefully they will. Hopefully they will not do that on the other side of the portal. Hopefully.
Wouldn't be the first time I took skooma and stepped through a flaming portal.
You have skooma?
Well, Scheme does. He's here somewhere.
Oh, well, we do not have time for that now. Then I will jump through.
Instead of elbowing, like, powering through, like Claudia, Laren's gonna be trying to duck and weave and avoid people getting over to the portal.
Alright. So yeah, Laren, you can, with Yodur and Claudia as well, jump up onto the table, and you guys can make your way, jumping through after Casimir. It's intensely hot, burning sensation as you do so. And the sounds of the battle and the chaos behind you fade away. And I want you guys to do, we're going to do something a little fun here. So as you guys jump through, you're about to have a shared dream, a shared vision of something. And I'd like for you each to describe an element of this dream that you all have. It could honestly be anything. So we're going to go round, because I've got to go AFK for 20 seconds here. But we're going to go around, and I want you guys to tell the start of this story of the dream that you have, and we'll go around and you can each add a little element of this tale. So, Laren, How does that begin? And I'll be right back.
The dream starts in the blackness of the abyss. We have entered the ether of sleep, or maybe we're falling. Are we flying? Or are we sitting still? No one knows. The blackness is suffocating. It shrinks in all around us. There's little wavers, the same kind of little heat lines you would see in the desert before a mirage. The blackness will fissure, crack, start to tear. The walls, the universe around us, splitting apart. The blackness revealing bleeding, churning muscles and organs behind it.
And
that's it for me.
Yeah.
Improv.
Yeah. From nowhere we hear a voice call out, "You're not supposed to be here. This is not for you." And we see the entrails twist and turn and bend into a smile. And then it starts to talk. From beyond, on the other side of this, two people walk out. They are made of wood and stone, and they have crystals growing out of their eyes. They have no nose, and instead they have a mouth that goes from here up, down here, and they speak sideways.
Claudia, would you like to follow that up, or would you like me to?
So from that, you see the well, you guys wouldn't know who he was, but it was the vampire lord Aurelius coming out from this like miasma of blackness. He's like half vampire, half like an undead creature, and he's looking at Claudia, and he's he's laughing, and he's like, "You think you're such a good person. You think that you are doing the right thing. I know what you're doing. I know what you're experimenting on, and it is going to be your downfall." And like that just kind of, so at that point Claudia's just stricken, just utterly terrified, and just kind of takes a step back, and maybe like probably takes a step back, falls to the ground, and whoever else can take over from there.
These people, these strange creatures with their faces that are mouths, chittering and laughing and talking, seem to be applauding and laughing and speaking at us like we're some kind of show, some kind of circus. This vampire lord takes a seat on this regal throne, and they're all standing before us, and he's on this black stage, and when we look down, we're all bathed in light from above. When we turn and look at each other, our faces keep changing and twisting like we're looking at all of us at the same time, even ourselves. And all of the voices that we hear are the people from our past, people that we wish that we could forget or remember. And they're all blending together, making this cacophony that begins to crush in on us. And we cover our ears, and all of us are screaming or laughing with them, and the light goes black.
You wake up in a stone sepulcher, and as you open up your eyes, you will see that it appears to be a tomb that you're in right now. It is a dark space with only one torch, which is lit, illuminating this underground cavern. It's a rectangular room. At the end of it, there is a staircase leading upwards, and each one of you seem to be resting on a coffin or a sarcophagus, and you are lying on it rather than in it. And as you blink open, you see each other there, having all experienced that nightmarish dream.
Laren's gonna like flop off if you can move and vomit all over the ground.
There's definitely a fair amount of nausea involved in going through this.
Oh,
Are you all right?
no. I am not. The people back there, they were so out of it. They will not remember that it was your door that did this. It's... No.
I nod. My mouth's very tight and dry.
That was a
Where
very
are-
bad trip. I think I should probably head back home.
You hear a
We have
voice.
things to do.
Home. There is no home now. You are
Home is where you
mine.
wear your hat. And I have mine on me. This is home.
Come up and see me. I wish to see my new little plaything.
Can we see the person that his voice is coming from?
You can't. It seems to be coming from above, from where the staircase leads upwards to a door, and your journal updates to go towards the door.
What does our journal say? Go through the door.
Yeah.
It says,
Go through
we had a weird
mysterious door."
dream. Go to the mysterious door. Yeah.
I try to use fast travel and get the you cannot fast travel from here.
So when you go to your map, you're somewhere off the map.
Right.
It's just a tiny circle that's the room we're in.
Alright.
I will draw my sword and I will do my best to give that bisexual stepdad look and this big nod like, come on, kids. You can do this.
I give the bisexual step.
Pull out my shirt a little bit.
Come on.
I don't have socks on,
Ow.
but you know, let's do this.
Oh, he wants to have sex. Like,
That's a
I say, come on.
Fuck the nightmare,
have to
dude. I
go.
need a minute to digest that.
Yeah, that's a fun nightmare for you
It's
already.
even worse. What just happened? I don't even know what to say.
I'll blaze the trail up the stairs.
Okay then. So presumably everyone follows our friend Casimir here. He gets to the door, and there is no door handle, but there is what seems to be almost a small indentation, almost where like a cup could go. Looks like a cup holder to us, I suppose. In the writing, there's on the door. In fact, there is like carved, and it reads rather, "Only a vampire's blood will suffice."
I say audibly, we're trapped here forever. We have no vampire's blood. Ugh.
You're forever. What? What did you read?
The door says that it requires vampire's blood. I gave all of mine away.
This is the weirdest trip I've ever been on. Everything's so corporeal.
Get through the door. We need vampire's blood.
I nod morosely. We should start rationing food. We'll die here.
Let's just get it over with and starve to death now.
Right. Claudia steps up to the door.
We can make vampire blood.
After he went through this great escape to blast through this portal, he's just given up at the door level. Claudia goes to the door, pulls out her dagger, makes a slice on her hand, and puts it over the, for the blood to fall into the cup.
Before it activates or anything, Casimir's like, "No, not Dawn Guard, vampire." And then it activates, and he's like, "Oh." Oh.
The door slides open.
I swear to God, I knew something fucky was going on.
I called. Are you the vampire we've been looking for all along?
No, not even.
They won't explain why she's so bad at killing vampires.
Let's just get to the door. Let's just get to the door. we can hash this out later, all right?
All along, we should be looking for you.
I don't want to be here any fucking longer.
I nod.
All right. So, on that note, the door slides open in front of you, and there's a long corridor. At the end, another set of doors, huge doors. So these are like 11, 12 feet high doors, double doors as well. Look to be made out of some kind of obsidian stone, and you will see down this corridor there are paintings on either side of the wall. These paintings seem to depict you all, each and every one of you. But you don't look quite the same as you do right now. You spot Laren's first. He's got a very pale white skin, and he's wearing a sort of long dark robe, and you're pretty sure he's got more eyeshadow than he normally has on, and he's got a kind of little slightly glittery look to him. You would recognize that you guys have all been painted here as though you were vampires. And the same goes for Casimir and Yodua, and Claudia looks kind of similar, I guess. But she's no longer wearing the armor of the Dawn Guard.
That's not a bad look.
Speak for yourself. I mean, these clothes that they have Yodua wearing, it's gracious. I mean, it's so dour. I mean...
Not much changes with Paris, honestly. You already got big teeth. Claudia, I kind of like that. You ever think about sharing?
Sharing what?
Your vampire blood. That sounds weird saying it, but I think you have enough context.
When I hear it, it sounds weird, but...
Look, if you're a stranger, I probably wouldn't ask, but I know you pretty well.
Why do you want vampire blood? Exactly? Why do you want to share it? You want me to give you vampire blood?
You see the painting? No.
Yeah, I see the painting, but we're still walking down a corridor. Why do you want vampire blood?
Laron, you can get those clothes. You do not need the vampire blood for it.
Think how many books I could write if I had forever. Just saying. Alright, I won't force it.
I have heard all authors only have one book in them, and then they write that one over and over again. So you would write the same book forever.
True, all my books sound the same. Claudia will let it unfold naturally, but we'll see what happens.
All right, then. So are you guys heading down the corridor towards the doors? Who's going to open them?
Open the doors? Is it just one door after? Are they split or?
It should be one big set of double doors in front of you.
Is there anything on the door?
Doesn't seem to be any writing on a door. It looks like it's made out of some kind of dark obsidian-like stone. And everything's a little bit spikier around here in terms of architecture than certainly than Whiterun. It's a dark and cool corridor here, and no sunlight coming in from anywhere. So only a couple of torches and braziers are what lights the way. Claudia, you're opening the door, correct?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. You push them open, and a kind of vast chamber is revealed in front of you. You'll see along these dark stone steps upwards. It looks to be an almost like a throne room that you've just entered into, and there is a throne made out of the same dark obsidian stone. Elsewhere in the room, there are several servants and looks like guards of this court. All of them are wearing these same sort of dark robes, and you guys will see that they all have that same kind of like pale skin as well. And they would all appear to be vampires. They turn and look towards you. They almost give a nod of deference towards all of you in unison. And then they look back up to their ruler who sits on the throne. This ancient-looking man who most clearly, it takes one look at the guy, and you can tell that he's a vampire as well. This ancient, crinkly skin. He looks to be so old as to probably have become a vampire at an old age, or just be so very old that his skin has just begun to age despite the effects of vampirism. He's got these white eyes with no pupils that look out upon you all. And he says, "Oh, good. They have come. Come in, my children. Come to father."
You are not my father. My father was Khajiit. I mean, what bullshit is this?
I do not bullshit. Instead, well,
how about if
I
you
speak
die?
of your new life.
I just shoot him with my crossbow.
I order you to dance.
I will just kind of say, and this is just because of where Casimir's head is at, knowing that Sheogorath was involved at some point. He'll just say, "Greetings, father," and kind of walk forward.
The fuck?
So like Claudia levels this crossbow, and Casimir steps in front of it as he walks towards him. "Greetings, father."
Good, good. We have one willing subject at least. I
Does it
should
start to dance?
introduce myself. My name is Ventul, and this is my family. I have welcomed you into my hall in good faith. There are no need for weapons here, Claudia. After all, we are all one and the same, wouldn't you say?
Nothing like you, you monster.
But a friend of mine told me that you were. You might remember him. He gave you that scar.
She just like, what's going on with my crossbow? Can I like still? Does he like?
You can shoot him. Roll me an attack roll.
Okay. And,
Claudia bangs it against a rock. And then she's
I will kill you. I will kill you. I'm gonna spend a weird on that. No. Probably just. Okay. Boom.
Nice.
Yeah, one. Super nice.
You will watch as the kind of bolt flies its way over towards him, and he holds up a finger, and the crossbow bolts just kind of like stops in midair, and clutters down to the floor. And he says, "Come now, there is no need for such things."
Screams and drops to her knees, and she's so pissed.
I mean, part of me was hoping you'd hit him so you'd age.
Yeah, right.
I knew that's what you were thinking as the player, Dick, but
He kind of chuckles. "Oh, such petulant children we have today. At least one of them is good. Casimir, I am pleased to see you." And he looks over towards Laren and says, "I caught you admiring yourself in that portrait there, Laren. I hope that you're pleased with my rendition. I like to think of myself as an artist."
Oh, I've dabbled myself. Hey, not bad. Yeah.
"Your books are well read in these halls. We have been keeping ourselves appraised of your journeys and adventures. Most fascinating.
You've read my books.
We actually run a publication. No.
We have a printing press.
We have a printing press here.
Friends, good news. I've come to a conclusion. If he says he's read my books, he is a filthy fucking liar, and I'm still tripping out. Everything's fine.
And you have spiders coming out of your mouth.
Oh my god.
Oh, well, perhaps that is the case. I have certainly heard Yodor's flute. Yes, and that tale of that troll, Yodor. What tall tales you have been telling.
I think there would be even better tales to be told.
Oh, I agree. So
why don't you just tap dance out of this fucking room?
Oh, thank God. Somebody
And I will remind you of my wild magic search.
Uh-huh.
All the vampires just like in sync.
You will you will watch as you see Ventul kind of stand, and he looks to be kind of like you've challenged him. And you hear some music begin. Perhaps I will. What? And as he you hear the amulet on your door. Yes, we can command him to do whatever we want. And you'll watch as I'm a strictly ballroom kind of guy. Ventul stands and begin to waltz his way around the hall for a moment, performing quite an enthralling dance. Like, this guy has got some moves, right? Like, he can, he really impresses you, I would say. And in fact, I'm going to roll his performance now to see how well he does. That is 4 successes from Ventul on his performance. You guys are like, hey, maybe he looks a little bit silly at first, but you're like, wow, this guy's kind of elegant. Like, this ballroom dance is an art form, and this guy knows how to waltz.
You've only increased his power, Yodor.
He actually gains a level for doing this. His dance is just, you hear like a boom, and he looks up to the stars for a second, and like he puts some points into various different skill trees as he gets that level up. And then he kind of like looks a little serious again, as if he's shaking it off. And he looks towards that amulet and is like, the cabbage boy. And watch his hand goes kind of like this, like in a clenching motion, and the amulet snaps and shatters.
I sold a lot of cabbages for these.
Those are my cabbages. Oh. He says, I have come to give you a very generous offer today, because I have noticed and been impressed by all of you. While your shenanigans have not gone unnoticed by the Ventuli, whilst you have been investigating us, we see every opportunity as one for gain, one for business, for both of us. And rather than simply killing you here as we could do, why not extend the hand of family and friendship towards you all? After all, when we run Whiterun, you will all be rulers. If you accept my offer, here it is. Simply leave away into this investigation in Whiterun. Go, enjoy yourself. The carousing, the chaos, the drinking. Whatever you want to do, leave it alone. And the Ventul, when we rule there, you will be as kings, as gods. What say you to this?
Claudia screams at the top of her lungs and charges him. It's like, you monster! I'll kill you with my bare hands.
Roll me a defense. Just almost like a willpower, right?
Okay. I'm just gonna. Yep. Okay. Sure.
Yeah. He kind of chuckles again, raises the finger, and Claudia just stops where she is. She appears to be frozen.
Fucking
I
hate
was thinking
that.
of dive and tackle her too. I say,
Fucking monster.
you have put us in a position where there is no just recourse. I accept.
No! No!
Good.
You're like thrashing, but you can't move.
And Lara, what about you?
Claudia, calm the fuck down. I'm not as bad as a person as I like to make everyone think. But Casimir has a point, and we have our hands tied, don't we?
No! No! No!
Oh,
She doesn't listen to anyone but herself.
Of course.
Ah. Well, I've recently lost a power top, and you fit the bill, so yeah.
And what of you, Yodur?
Laren looks at Yodur, and his eyes are silently screaming. It's like,
I mean, all black. Isn't it a bit tacky, no? And pale skin and being ooh. It's. I mean, why not purple and teal? I mean, what is wrong with you? If you are live like kings, I mean, why don't you dress like kings instead of some?
We are the kings of the night.
What are you in high school?
No. I skipped education.
I got my GED 700 years ago. I never looked back.
And when forward on his £10, Yodur, you suddenly realize that your flute gives you the ability to mimic a peacock's mating call to perfection.
Such a great revelation in this time.
Topical. We needed that right now.
Super useful, man.
That's the solution to this
That's
vampire
clutch.
puzzle.
What an epiphany. That's clearly brought on. That is clearly epiphany brought on by stress.
You're tripping balls still. This sounds just like a peacock. So, do you reject my gift to you, Yodur?
Well,
Don't
can
do
I
it!
open the window?
No, what?
Why?
No, I want to, play my flute one last time.
That is fitting. I like your power flute. Let me hear it one last time.
Okay, and I will open the window, and then I will stand to the side, and I will play the mating call, and I will probably spend the word for it.
Please. Please. give
Spend
me
a word to have a helpful encounter.
I know, please, somebody, please save us.
Trying to find the sound of a peacock.
Yep. 2 successes.
Okay. So, as you do, picks up the flute. The sounds of peacocks echo across Skyrim. And the pipe is... Jesus, fuck, these things sound good. You lean out the window and you'll watch as drawn close to the perfect imitation of a peacock's mating call, a female peacock flutters down across the castle that you're in and lands in the window. It kind of barks at you.
And then I want to pick up the peacock and throw it at Ventul.
Roll me a peacock attack roll, please.
Can I use a plus for cunning?
Sure.
Okay, so it's 3 dice.
The peacock is larger than you'd expect. Peacocks are actually pretty large animals, and also don't exist in this version of our reality. But as you go pick it up, it just kind of flutters about and squawks at you. And you'll watch as Ventul points a finger towards it, and the bird will kind of float towards him as though he is, like forcing it towards him. It lands in his lap, kind of dead still. Oh, I see that you have brought me dinner, Yodur. Thank you. And he grabs the neck of the peacock and into it, snapping its neck and feasting from the blood. A fine vintage.
We should have.
Peacock calls its last. And it also, and as it dies, it goes for no reason.
We are contractually obligated to put one of those in every stream.
Oh, yeah, it's on a contract.
Who would pay for that? Wilhelm himself.
Wilhelm's pizza.
So
Casimir will start to draw his sword, looking at Yodur, and say, "Make a choice, Yodur."
Yodur, I pray you don't do anything rash. Just think, please.
But you do know what we do, right?
He's got you there.
Good line.
Rash is my middle name. Horrible Rash.
This is your last chance. I don't care for your rashes. Skin conditions are of no use to me.
Do vampires
Well,
get
very
bloodborne
welcome.
diseases?
We have several oil-based creams that may help.
Sounds like an occupational hazard.
Judging by your clothes, I am sorry, but I have to thank you.
I see.
Am I held?
And-
Am I still just kind of
Yeah,
held?
the spell's still there, but it actually dissipates as Ventul laughs. And you watch as his face changes from that of this old decrepit man with white eyes and no pupils into the capricious form of Sheogorath sitting there in his robes and a cane on the throne. You watch as the other servants around you just kind of like dissipate away as if they were never even there, as if they were just despawned. And behind instead of all of the kind of vampires around you looking at you, there's a tea party going on. And there are various different animals and creatures who are pouring tea and eating food together. And Sheogorath, excellent! That was quite chaotic. We really got to see down to the heart of you all, didn't we? Ooh, Claudia, how do you feel about that? With all of your friends turning against you, except from Yodor. Good choice, by the way. His clothes were terrible. They are.
I think you are a piece of manipulative shit. To do that to all of these people, to do that to these people, especially to Casimir, who is the best of us.
No, darling, you misunderstand. Casimir and I, we have a deal. Isn't that right, Casimir? You made a deal with me, and that's why all of this is happening.
I look down dejectedly.
Delicious.
Like I can't keep doing this forever, going against myself and my own code.
Ow. Oh, I must have really stuck my foot in it there. I'm sorry, Casimir.
But you did what you wanted.
What I wanted? Well, I've gotten what I wanted for now, but maybe we'd all like some tea or some food. I'm kind of peckish. That turkey really wasn't very good. Whatever it was. Made a horrible sound. When it died. Like an old friend of mine. But we're not done yet, my friends. So take a rest here now while you can, because the game ain't over yet. We've only just started. Thanks to Casimir.
I kind of fall back, just where I'm standing, fall back on my butt, instead there shaking, or sit there shaking my head.
I know exactly how you feel.
Well, this is all very tasty morsels for me. I do so enjoy seeing how you act with one another and all your justice and virtues. Oh, I'm not a vampire. Actually, she is. Did we touch on that yet? That she's a vampire? She's been hiding that from you the whole time? Talk about hypocritical.
Not a vampire.
She's got some vampire blood though, doesn't she?
I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate what you did. I hate what you did to Casimir. I can't believe.
I did to Casimir. Casimir chose this fate. He wanted to make a deal with me.
No, he didn't.
And let's not forget.
He would never make a deal unless it was to protect us.
Casimir, is this true? Did you make a deal with him?
If he did, it was for us. There's no way he did it out of anything else.
I look exceptionally relieved. I look exceptionally relieved that Claudia has my side here, but I put all of my attention on Yodor.
The deal was that we should take this pervert's wand and put it in the king's bedroom.
Pervert? Okay.
You wanted to
Make my pervert one.
I mean,
And I say, and not ask questions. The wand was driving people mad. It would have killed everyone at that party.
it was a small.
That's what I thought was happening, and so I acted.
Let's not forget Yoda put it there in the first place, so we could all link this back to him if we tried.
You know what?
Well, yes. That's you got us there.
Back in Morrowind.
No, he doesn't. This all is because of you. Taking good people and twisting them inside and out.
You know what, Claudia?
Maybe.
You're worse than a vampire. You're worse than a vampire because most of them they don't have the control. You have control. You don't have to act like this.
I'm worse. I am. I'm the worst. I'm the worst. But isn't it great? Will you please have some tea? It's stressing me out.
Back in Morrowind, people, their legality, people are judged on intentions behind actions, not the actions themselves. And if you look at everyone's intentions, Casimir, you're doing what you think was right. You were trying to keep us from getting flayed by madmen. Claudia, you're trying to protect people or something. This might be the scuba talking, but you're all good people, and I totally love all of you.
I get up and I'm like wiping the dirt off of my ass, and I kind of just walk over dejectedly and sit down at the table and start drinking tea. And I'll stop, and over my shoulder, like I won't turn my head all the way, but I'll say loudly over my shoulder, "That means more than you know to me."
Well, isn't this sweet? A family reunion, everyone back together. Claudia, where are we on the tea situation?
I am not drinking your fucking tea.
Fine, fine. And he goes with his cane, points it at you, and you are suddenly a sheep.
Whatever.
I'm gonna translate for Claudia.
Thank you. You watch as Claudia mares a little bit, and then she goes over and gets towards the tea and kind of licks at the tea a little bit, getting up on her little, like, hooves, I guess. It's super cute, and that's better. Now, will anyone else not have some tea? Lauren? Yodur? Where are we?
I would love some tea, yes.
I like chars. I hope you have char. There's not skooma in this, is there? I'm kind of trying to detox. I'm trying to detox, get that out of my system.
Good idea. Why stop at skooma, though? There's so much more.
No, I'm trying to detox. I'm going straight edge all the way. I'm done.
I see. I see. Well, now we're all getting some drinks and things are going a lot better, but we still have to find out where Lial is. The game is not yet over. The game is merely afoot. So let's go there next, shall we? And let's have some fun. What do you say? Who wants to go find Lial?
I'm petting Claudia and say, yes. We should go and find the Jarl.
Good idea, because he's in a little spot of bother right now, and I've got a fun little game for you to go and get him out. So, if you wouldn't mind, he gestures very grandiosely, and another burning red hot portal opens up.
Jesus.
On you go. Trot through, little Claudia. See you later.
I'll kind of pick up
so you know
Claudia.
that she's yours. Yeah.
Yodur will pick up one of the teacup and take it with him, and go as he walks towards the portal.
All right then. So you guys step through as Sheogorath said "toodaloo" as you go, and wave goodbye, and you step through the burning portal once more. And because it was so dope last time, let's do that again. Let's get some dreams up in here as you guys step once through this maddening portal from Sheogorath. Who wants to start off with where this bizarre dream begins? Any idea?
I mean, I'm a sheep. I'm what dreams are made of, right? Like,
that is true.
Claudia's just jumping. No, let's do it. Let's do it in reverse. So I'll start.
Let's
and
do
then,
that.
Yeah. So this time, there's this field stretching out in front of us. The field outside of Whiterun, maybe. You can see things moving in the grass swaying in the breeze. And shadows keep passing over like there's something flying above us. But every time we look up, there's nothing there. Not even clouds, not even sky. Just light, bright light. And when we try to look at each other, it's almost like we're looking through a haze. Like things are strange distances. Our eyes can't focus.
Let's go next.
Ellie.
I'm a sheep. Having sheep dreams.
In character you are, but
You can still have Claudia's mind.
I get my body back. So, I don't know. I don't have anything to really think about. So
someone else can jump in if you like.
Yeah.
Fences and moons.
And in this place, you see little Tom skipping, and he's holding a stag head in his hands. He's jumping, and then he looks at the camera, looks up. The camera is down on top of him, and he holds up the stag head. It's bleeding out of the eyes, and and he goes, "Stag, you're it." And hands come forward and takes the stag head, and suddenly it's a living head. It licks our nose, and then starts to speak, and
the tongue licking the nose is warm, thick, viscous, leaving a trail of saliva on the face as it flicks back and forth, turning serpentine, forked-like. The snout of the stag's head starts to elongate. Little sharp teeth start pointing in through the roof of the mouth and from the jaw on the bottom. Consume. The grass around us starts wavering, almost like a whirlpool in a maelstrom. The ground itself starts giving way underneath us. Rocks fall into blackness. The same mouth, the teeth, the black scales, all appearing, jutting out of the ground as the world itself tries to eat us. I will consume everything.
Amazing. As this bizarre sequence of events occur, you awaken and you find yourselves on a barren and ashy landscape. Above you, the sky is red, as if it is on fire. And beneath your hands, it comes away of just ash and dirt. It looks like around here, as you begin to shudder and stand up, you'll see huge pools of magma and lava overflowing down great chasms and ravines. It seems that whatever place you're in is one of fire and flames. And in front of you is the little boy, Tom.
Is Claudia Claudia?
Claudia is again Claudia. She is no longer a sheep.
Okay.
This could make for a very short adventure.
You're drenched in tea, though.
Man, I can't believe you made me drink tea as a sheep. That sucks.
I mean, it's not the cruelest thing you could have done, I suppose. But...
There are worse things than tea-drinking sheep. Hello, Tom, I say.
Yeah. Hello.
Why have you brought us into this hellish plane?
I'm here to help. Help guide you to the Jarl.
But there's fire around.
Yes, there is, but you don't need to be afraid. Just don't walk into the fire.
You don't think of this as one big bad trip you just gotta ride it out. None of this is real. Maybe real enough to kill us, but not real.
There is one thing for certain. If we do not participate, we will die.
Yes, let us participate.
There is no precipitation. No. He he says, yes, it is participation is mandatory. So, would you like to come with me?
No, but we will do so anyway.
Good. He begins to shuffle along through the ashen, barren landscape until you come to. It seems like maybe walking here for about an hour, like sweating in the heat and the ash. Your throats are dry. You'll go through whatever water and wine, provisions or mead that you have with you fairly quickly down here because your throat gets so parched so quickly. And little Tom leads the way through until you come to this bastion of steel and this large piece of architecture which is unlike any that you've seen before. It's not really a traditional castle in the sense that you would have known them, not something like Whiterun where it's quite on a hill and easily defensible and round and walls. This place looks like it has great spires to it, but they seem to lead to one another on these elongated bridges that look like they stretch farther than any bridge should be able to stretch without just dipping down into the middle or falling into the earth. As you see this large castle, this mad castle in front of you, Casimir and Yodur can both roll a d10,000 wild magic surge from Wind Forest.
Oh no, jeez, we. Oh, come on, do something awesome.
9,900.
Awful.
That is a big number. I do not trust those big numbers.
Oh boy.
Die or dice?
No whammies. Die. Yeah, there was one that was pretty close to 10,000 the other day. That was really, really bad. /. Yodur, temperature within 50 yards drops by 10d10 degrees for 1 hour. That's super interesting. Let's roll out. So, drops by 66 degrees. So I'm going to take that as Celsius rather than Fahrenheit. So like that drops a significant amount. It's like really hot here, and as you come to like this castle entrance, it feels like kind of cool inside. Like they've got AC in there. And then for Casimir, 9791, really high numbers. Someone nearby tries to kill every cow he sees. I think this might be Claudia with like a hatred of animals now that she's been turned into a sheep. She's like every cow or sheep or any animal that I see, I'm just gonna kill it.
Vampires, cows, sheep, they're everything.
Yeah, vampire cows, vampire sheep, anything. They're probably all vampires anyway. So
I don't know why, but I always picture Claudia as having her crossbow out and like pointing it at things as she's walking around.
Just random.
Ever ready, but also terrifying.
Also terrified. Yeah, that's probably true.
So you come
this
to the
place. This place is terrible, but Yodur has a good feeling about this place.
If you think this place is terrible, you wouldn't last 5 minutes in Morrowind. That's all I'm saying.
Is it hot there?
Yeah.
Fires.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
We go.
does not want to go there. Think yes, my mate.
Little Tom nods and says, "Yes, but inside it is cooler." And leads you up to like the big gate. You're looking at the black gates of Mordor right now. Like these things are pretty damn huge. And where there once was in that door, Ventil's door before, a little kind of like indent for some blood. Here it looks like there is like an indent, almost like a coffin-sized indent. And inside this essentially Iron Maiden, you see that there are spikes inside. And they look like they have dried blood on them, as if this sort of Iron Maiden coffin has seen blood before. And little Tom kind of turns, gestures. That is the entrance.
What?
Where the Jarl is being kept.
Mm-hmm.
He's waiting for you. But there's a price to enter.
Well, Yudo has 15 gold.
I made no prices too high for the likes of me.
Here's all my gold.
I put a hand on your door, and then I put a hand on Laren, and then I put a hand on Claudia.
Where did your hand come from?
I say, not magic. I say, oh, out of game. I was so tempted to try and throw Tom in there, but
Yeah, right. That's like in the back of my mind. And like, they gotta throw him in there. That's totally
it's
cool.
not a bad
But yeah,
idea. But Casimir would never in a million years throw a kid into an Iron Maiden. I have to draw the line.
And Laren didn't come up with that idea.
So okay.
Feeling a sense of responsibility, Casimir will go over to this Iron Maiden and look back at his friends like with this knowing glance that if this kills him, he expects them to finish this, and then he'll climb inside.
Tommy will Tom will put a little hand on your arm and say, "The decision must be unanimous."
Well, Yudo do not want to die, so I mean, if Kashmir wants to, I mean, it's wish.
Casimir, you're quite a bit more useful in hunting down vampires. And if we can get out of all of this, then we need someone that's going to be able to fight the actual Ventil, right?
I'll draw my Skyforged steel sword. I've had it for 3 decades. And I'll go over to Lauren and I'll kind of grab onto the blade and hand the hilt to him. And I'll say, like, think about your book. You are all the hero people need. If I live, give it back. If I don't, use it well.
If you don't use it well, what? He gives you a wry smile, knowing perfectly well what you mean, but being Larry.
I laugh, and then I shake my head. And then I'll turn and look to Claudia.
Casimir, don't do this. There's got to be another way. This is probably another sick trick.
I'll say, with like both hands raised, one of them that, claw, and I'll say, who can say? I'll make you a deal. All I've ever wanted was to be sung about. I'll kind of gesture to Yodor. I'm like, if the worst happens, this is a good place and way to die. And that's all I've ever wanted.
I shall make you an ice sculpture and play a good solo.
I nod. Close enough.
That's like, I guess you don't get a song.
Hayit, don't meow.
He looks at little Tom looks towards Claudia. Do you accept?
This is some kind of trick. I'm gonna murder you, you little brat.
You die first!
The kid smiles. The kid gives you this like shit-eating grin. And Casimir, you step into the Iron Maiden.
Yep. I kind of reach in with the one hand and slide myself into this Iron Maiden.
It's like going into a bar and you check it.
Yeah.
With like the toe first.
Into a bathtub, like that's
Wiggle my heel so it's between 2 spikes and kind of slide in.
there really is an optimal way to go into an Iron Maiden. You know, you can't just go in blindly. So,
Right. Your way in.
Yeah.
Talos guide me.
You see that as Casimir enters in, the stone top to the Iron Maiden swings shut, and that's that's as good a point as ever to end an episode on, I'm afraid, because oh boy, what a cliffhanger! What is gonna happen next to Casimir? Ellie's just fucking pissed, and I love it. But my friends, so we've got time for tonight. We're gonna have to wait until next week to find out what happens to Casimir and what happens to our adventures here. Caught in a sick, twisted game of Sheogorath, of his own making. But hopefully, you guys have enjoyed tonight's show. If you did, be sure to check out Helheim Unbound. It is on RPG Now. As we speak, it went up today, so definitely go over there. Get it for $5 and play this wonderful game. Play your own Skyrim games, and definitely drop a review when you do so, because they super help out when on RPG Now. I think it's in like the top trending new titles right now, so definitely go and check it out. It's a #1 best-selling title apparently on RPG Now as things stand, so that's fucking awesome. Definitely go and check it out.
Awesome.
But let's go round the cast and crew, and that's of course. Did you enjoy ourselves? And where can we find you guys online? Strider Heap, an incredible performance tonight, as always, from Laren. How was that for you?
I must consume. Yeah, it was fun, man. I enjoyed it. The dream sequences, like, that is my bread and butter. I don't always
At it.
come up. I don't know. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying that's the kind of shit like I love to see. Like input from everyone and stuff, so it's fantastic. Do check out Helheim, please. We're running Morrowind and Skyrim and stuff. I've seen it for that. I'm also going to try to apply it to like a chill Howl's Moving Castle Studio Ghibli kind of game because it's so flexible. I can do it for all kinds of stuff. So
It just sounds so cool.
Dude, number one selling. You don't need me to tell you. So, hey, that's it for me. Check me out next week. I want to see something happen to Casimir one way or the other.
Great stuff. Thank you, Strider. Let's see. Ellie, what an episode again for Claudia every time. How are you feeling?
I'm doing well. You know, this is a very emotional, traumatic trauma that my 4 characters had to go through. I've seen my friends betray each other for, you know, practically nothing. I saw Casimir, who I thought was truly like the best of us all, just cave. You know, it's been fun. It's fun. I'm having a good time. It is kind of an emotional ride, though. You do get kind of wrapped up in this stuff. You're really good. But I agree. The Helheim system is amazing. It's fun. It's flexible, and it's definitely like something you can just you can even kind of skim through it and sort of just build something off of it and do a pretty quick ad hoc thing, which is cool.
Right.
So for me, mostly you can find me on Facebook. I do have a website. I tweet too, but really I'm most active on Facebook. So I'm at facebook.com at BeholdHerGaming.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Ellie. And yeah, definitely check out Helheim. It's like, it's not a 500-page rulebook that you're going to spend, you know, weeks poring over and needing to read. You can get playing, you know, pretty much as soon as you get that PDF. You'll be up and running. You know,
Larry
like
was done in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The
I think all of us
is,
got done in about 10 minutes. Yeah.
The first chapter is like boom, boom, boom. Here's what you need, and the player sheet is just like 1 page of cheat rules. Like, here's how you play. Go and do it. It's fucking awesome. Great stuff as always, Ellie. Nicholas, same questions, my friend.
I had really fun tonight, and yeah, I can't wait to see what happens with Kashmir and his petrified hand. I mean, I will not lie when I say that perhaps Eudor will try to keep it if it's still there. But yeah, I had really fun, and it's late, so my brain is stopped.
Oh yeah, I understand.
But you can find me at Nivinta at Twitter. That's the easiest one.
Great stuff. Thank you, dude, as always. And last but not least, Mr. Drop the Die.
It was great. It's hard playing a character when I, as a player, am so tumultuous and fucking crazy, trying not to be crazy all the time as Casimir. I did want to say, while we're pimping out and pitching Helheim to everybody, you can see my last 2 rolls here in the feed. I actually used fudge dice for one and D10s for the other. You can also do D100s for this system. Anything that you can get a 30% probability to do, you can use dice for it. And as someone that has a bunch of fate dice and 0 fate games, I actually like running this in person using my fudge dice.
That's a really good excuse to use fudge dice, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually really like how they look. The whole black side, white side thing, it looks great. Real happy to be in the game, and I'm glad that I can enable everyone a little bit this time. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook. I do not have an Instagram yet. YouTube, everywhere else as Drop the Die, all one word. And I am more than happy to talk to any of you, including in my Discord, where I'm going to be setting up another game for this month, and I think 3 or 4 for next month. So if you want to jump into something with me, just let me know.
Awesome. And just don't worry, Winfrey, we are getting that mayonnaise ring coming in first thing next week, which Laren has. It can turn any liquids into mayonnaise. We'll get to that next week. Don't worry.
Oh, God, the mayonnaise ring, yo.
It's the first thing on our menu.
No one ever pledges for helpful stuff, do they?
That's pretty much how it goes. But nonetheless, it's been an awesome time here. Can't shout out Helheim enough, so definitely go and check it out. I'll drop a link one last time for you guys. The next time you see me here, because our D&D show is on hiatus on the Watch channel until late July. So in a couple of weeks' time, we'll be back on Learn by Play. But next time you'll see us here live will be Monday again for our next week of shows. But in the meantime, we're going to go host a raid. A good friend of ours, her name is Tracy. She goes by Miss Magitech. And she is currently playing some Neverwinter, so staying on the D&D train, of course. But we'll see you guys again on Monday. In the meantime, come and hang out with us in the Discord. That's where we're hanging out all the time. There are 100 people there. Find a game, play a game, talk about games, think about games. It's all good. But until next time, my friends, try not to roll too many nat ones, because we want to be here laughing when you do. Good night, everybody.
We'll get some mayonnaise, some peacock eggs. We can
stone hands, mayonnaise, peacock eggs, sheep. We're good to go.